I was just saying, you know, maybe it's an option in the future.
So is it a genetically modified?
Yeah, yeah. And then I was just seeing if they plant a corner of their field or something, because the big thing is like, it's not technically a BMR variety. So if they can plant a corner of their field, and we can kind of look at how it comes up and how it compares directly next to the stuff they've been planting, you know, the palatability of it, you'll get an idea because they have stuff out there grazing. You can kind of see the selectivity of the cattle. And then just how it does, you know, in general, compared to the other stuff they've been planting. If it's worth planting for the extra price. So,
I think what's good about that though is so you're actually doing something with the information you got within their community. You know?
yeah.
You guys try to, you know.
Yeah, and like I said, it'd be good to have a area specific example I could show people, and I think it could
And prove it's safe and it pencils out.
Right.
At the very least, it will give you some feed and probably wouldn't have gotten anything another way, you know.
Right. And if it fits their operation, you know, if people come in and they have this problem with, maybe they're wanting to graze a little more than bale and stuff, and they're thinking sorghum Sudan could go pretty dry, and it does great in sandy soil, and I don't know, it'll be pretty interesting to watch as it goes forward. I know Hayes is another guy, I think his actual title is our forage extension specialist. He's gonna do some studies with it too. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that going forward. I'm hoping these guys up there will up there plant it. And then I can kind of go, because I'm going to go over brand and stuff anyway, so go up there and take some pictures throughout the year, and then see what it does this winter. But could be pretty interesting. I always thought that was pretty good stuff for around here. I know Helen plants some sometimes over there. So I just see on the highway. It does seem to do pretty good. So that was something interesting that we talked about, and then went into talked to Goggins at BLS and talked to us for a while and talked about the horse sale for a while and stuff. So
who'd you talk to with BLS?
Billy's livestock.
Can't remember his first name. Pat's his grandpa, so it's Goggins.
Oh, so that's his grandpa?
Pat would be his grandpa, right?
Okay, so you were the one who runs that, I believe, is
Joe, right?
Bill Cook. Bill Cook runs that deal. And that was his grandpa. I mean,
Okay. Yeah,
his mom is a Goggins.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we talked.
He's a big guy.
Yeah. That's right. It was what he was saying, because his grandpa Pat started a lot of the stuff they do now.
Yeah, he does an excellent job with that.
Yeah, it was really interesting. They talked to us about just different market stuff and how they figure it and how they handle it. And I can't remember the lady who runs the horse show or the horse sales name.
Oh, it's
I've seen her featured in articles and stuff. Sounds like it's.
I don't think it's crap.
Incredibly.
there's people.
Can't remember her name right
Yeah.
now. I'm terrible with names, but
Yeah, if you go online, you'll see it. I just got an email from him, actually.
yeah. I mean, it was really interesting stuff, and she talked a lot about the market throughout the years, what's happened with COVID, what happened with shutting down the kill plants, what happened with all those estrogen mares out of Canada.
So they stopped that kill plant?
I mean the horse kill plants in like 2003.
Yeah.
She walked us through the whole
Oh yeah,
whole kind of economic situation. And it was pretty interesting to see. I don't think that affects us as much locally as some of the stuff we talked about in North 40 with the cover crop and lagoon and that sorghum Sudan. But it's good to know.
Make sure you have the ability to enforce.
And we had just kind of an update from our beef extension specialist.
And if you pass,
And our weed specialists, Bentonada's still been a real big concern across the state. It's expensive to treat.
What is it?
Ventonata.
Do we have it here in this?
We have not gotten any yet. Yeah, it's pretty bad stuff. I mean, it's like a cheap grass, but they won't eat it even green because it's got such a high silica content,
Hmm.
and it spreads. They have, I think they treat it with Rejuvra. Mike, is that right?
What?
Rejuvra? What they spray that out?
If they're having a meeting.
It's pretty bad stuff. And our Jane Mangold is our weed specialist, range weed specialist in noxious weed, and she's been very concerned about it. We've been doing a lot of studies on it right now, and the other one they had a little concern about is what was the main one? They talked about some more of the field crop stuff like oxeye daisy, things like that. People have been having a little trouble with.
You don't say
No.
Yeah, it was a good update though. We spent a lot of time just planning that national deal.
You call it North 40?
North 40 Ag, yeah, they're a seed distributor.
Oh,
They do a very good job, yeah.
they're out of Billings or where they are?
Great fall.
Valentine,
Oh, really?
yeah. That's some really interesting stuff. They really know their stuff too. I mean,
I have more
you
meetings.
don't have to call them and know what you want to get. You can give them a situation and they'll,
They'll figure it out.
yeah. So, it's a pretty good deal. I was supposed to go to Bozeman next week for my new agent orientation, and they canceled that because they want to wait until September, and we'll have like 15 new agents that are going. So, I'll have about a year in at that point, I guess. But interesting.
Well, it's good when they cancel and they reschedule them instead of canceling, and you get a pink slip in the mail.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it'll be good. I think they're just hiring a lot of new agents again this year, so. Yeah, and then, got 4-H camp stuff coming up. At Camp Rotary, I've had a ton of interest so far, but hoping to get some people to go. I know when we were doing camp counselor, searching for counselors, I sent out stuff, but we don't have many older kids right now, so I didn't really get anybody that was too interested in that. Hope we get some campers to go, and I'll probably go there for that. It's mid-June, I believe, right? I think you had it on the calendar somewhere too, Billy said.
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
Oh, yeah, the first week of June.
Yeah.
The 4-H thing, yeah.
And we'll be up there for that, so that'll be good. It's a ways away at Camp Rotary. It's like, I don't know if you guys know where that is, but
I've heard of it before, but
You asked us, well, anyway, I'm thinking, you asked us to come up with a procurement template for the fair board?
yeah. Well, and Dominique and what's her name from the hospital? Or we're
Tracy?
Tracy.
Tracy. That's right. We're gonna work on that too.
Okay. I didn't mean to
No,
derail
you're-
where you were headed.
You're fine. I was just updating you guys on what's going on. And I guess they got some of that dirt work done down at the fairgrounds. Grammersman called me the other day, so
Oh, yeah?
we're trying to schedule a day to go put that stuff in with the stock contractor.
Sure does look nice down there.
Who's gonna do it?
The guy that kind of brokered the deal or sold the,
Or you mean, Groundsman?
well, Grimes was gonna be there, but the guy he bought the stuff from
Oh,
is gonna come back and help us put it up. So we're trying to get that scheduled, get that stuff in. And then I told Eric he's got to go ahead on doing that electric down there, so he should be starting to work on that pretty soon
okay.
from that one quote.
And we need to, check those donation boxes
Oh, yeah.
and maybe get them cleaned out for the summer season.
Yeah.
And I think the commissioners should go, until we get somebody down there, I think they should all go down there and get it, because last time Billy got it,
Let's send Tracy.
I don't know that
there's
my
like
hand could
$1,400 in there.
I was gonna say that.
So, I just figured that they would be the good ones to go get that until we have somebody to go get it. I'm not asking you, I was just letting them know, cause I've let them know many times and they still haven't done it. And also we need to check
Do we
on,
need a key or how?
I have a key,
So you could give us a key, and we
Uh-huh.
could go down there after lunch and bring the money back.
yeah, I don't think there's anything at 1:00, right? There's nothing at 1:00. We don't have anything until Ron, after lunch until Ron comes.
If,
Also, you need to check on the hookup for, Randy Randall
Yes, we do.
down there, so when you go collect the
Need
money.
an electrician in there.
Yep, yep, well, you know, there's maybe,
I assume the sewer system works, cause it works in the 4-H building.
well, it just
And it's the
hasn't
same
been hooked up
district
in a
up to
minute.
find out. Yeah.
Hey, you guys are smart, you guys can figure it out when you go
Yeah,
down there and
yeah.
get the money today.
Bob
Yeah.
can do it.
And there's 2 donation boxes, just so you know, there's one over by the barns, and there's one in the campground, yeah.
what if there's like $8,000 or
Well, there was $14,000, or $1,400 last time.
Wow.
something? How many years ago that? So-
14,000, you'll never see us
Yeah,
again.
Really, too, you guys roll down the road.
That's why I volunteered to do it.
that's funny.
You got a vacation.
We gotta finish the RV electrical with the Jersey barriers. We gotta hire a facility manager, which is, Angie.
Possibly.
We got procurement template, where we talk about having plans and whatnot. And you guys are working on that, donation bond, and then, what's her name? Randy being able to move the trailer in down there. She was gonna wanna keep a horse down there. Do you have
2,
any
she
thought-
called and
two-
asked
two
if she could
horses.
have.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
To the fair board.
Can you mention that to the fair board? What I was thinking is that maybe she could keep them on that area to the north of the
Sure
of the
could.
dike. In that,
Where they burn that? Is that?
well, awful close, I think it's on the south side of the river.
So the next meeting isn't until the 27th, right, Reed?
Yeah.
Okay. The 4th, I will never forget this now, 4th Tuesday is the fair board.
There, what was her name? I'll just write it down.
Right, the person down at Randy Randall, she's the deputy.
She's deputy sheriff, she's gonna,
She tracks the 44.
yeah, she'll provide security down there while she's living there, and in exchange, she gets to live for free, right?
Nice.
Yeah, Randy, Randall, keeping horses down there. Where could she keep them?
Yeah,
Okay.
just to, it's,
I suppose too, that they don't object to, you know, that they also buy into her moving down there. I can't imagine why they wouldn't, but, you know, it is their decision.
Yeah, I'll mention it to her.
oh, and I know something also. That old concession building,
Yeah.
I guess it's fallen down, or it's, but the minor, or my grandson and my son and daughter-in-law are very into the baseball thing, and they wanted to know if they could maybe, if the fair board has any funds that they could go in with the baseball team to put up a new one.
Concession stand?
Right where that consent, just another little building, just like that, but that they can use. It has electric in it and everything, but it is falling down.
Well,
Is it over by the baseball field?
Yeah.
Okay.
That
so
little
it's-
like-
get
Yeah.
a
Like gazebo.
get a project plan template. Tell them to make one up, and they will present it to the fair board, and then the fair board vote on it.
That's what I said, you're gonna have to go to the fair, I told her, you're gonna have to go to the fair board for it. So, and I told her, 4th Tuesday. Oh,
And my LRP talk I wanted to have at the beginning of this month kind of fell through because we got, I talked to him again, but he got his budget cut and stuff, so I'll have to try to get something else figured out for probably the end of this month, having somebody come give a talk. I'm not sure exactly what it's gonna be on yet, but, I mean, if nothing else, I can have somebody come up from MSU and do some stuff, or I got another guy I might contact about doing LRP,
Okay,
so.
yeah, that was that insurance deal.
Yeah, and then he's a rep at one of the companies, but he said he'd come up and give a talk before, so I might contact him again, try to get something set up, but yeah, the other guy, I guess, with the government stuff going on, he just can't do it, so. That should be coming up in the next month and a half before fair anyway. Um,
I heard you say they did some dirt work down there in the arena.
Yeah, George called me and said they got sand in there and did some stuff, so.
That's excellent.
That's good.
And I think they said they tipped over one of those cement deals, or you guys did, or somebody did, or?
Tipped over a what?
One of those vaults, maybe to have it empty out, or
Yeah.
tipped over a vault.
Well, you guys can check when you go down there today.
When we collect the money, when we go
Well,
to.
that's what I thought, but
I don't know what the hell they tipped over.
it said tipped over something and Will's gonna have to clean it up or something like that, cause there was a bunch of stuff come out of it, and I was like, okay.
For what it's worth, Will called me and they had a leak on one of the valves and wanted, to know if he could get somebody to replace it. I told him yes.
Yeah.
Probably should have gone through the fair board, but he said it was an emergency.
I think for stuff like that, it's probably fine.
Had to be fixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, he came in, I said, just call him. He said, when can I meet with him? I said, no, you can call him.
Yeah. And Will's been very on top of stuff, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's got, his neighborhood's pretty nice down there.
It really, really
And, I mean, we
does.
had a little cleanup day on Saturday, but there was just a lot of leaves and some branches, and they did some flower bed stuff, but we've been doing a good job. And I think we'll have we got one more cleanup day coming up. The older kids, we're gonna try to put those new bleachers up in the showroom that they got, and
Oh, yeah.
do a little bit of painting, and I think we're gonna move those old ones that are in there over, at least one or two of them over to the dog show area. So they can sit and watch the dog show and stuff.
That's the 12th of June, right?
I'd have to look again.
Because we have a wedding the 13th. They wanted to have the 12th, but Billy said that they had to clean up, so we have the 13th, 14th, and 15th for a wedding.
I'd have to double check.
There's a lot of things. There's graduation parties, there's weddings that are going on down there. I mean, it's beautiful, why wouldn't you, you know, but.
We're gonna have to
Surprised.
build another facility.
What I'm saying, new 4-H, new fairgrounds.
We're making so much money down there.
I told you, we need a metro style building.
Wouldn't go that far.
Enough to, isn't the Metro, okay, I have a question,
Yeah.
cause isn't part of the Metro in a floodplain? Is
Yeah,
that not the Yellowstone River floodplain?
I would think so, now that you mention it.
Well, I know where the old racetrack was.
Grandfathered in.
Yeah, like where the racetrack was. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe that was before all the zoning and everything.
Probably was. Yeah, I don't know.
They might have got a waiver.
You know, you put $1 million in their pocket and
Yeah.
they
They turned around.
remapped it.
And then,
Do
yeah,
the
shrink up the
environmental
floodplain.
assessments and.
Pushed
Well, they
over
might have
the-
done enough mitigation that the floodplain shrunk.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do.
You know, our floodplain, until not recently, probably about 5 or 6 years ago. You know how if you go down here, it goes up, like at the Busy Bee, you can see up there, that up there was in the floodplain.
Oh,
Because it
on
was
the
a
map
top,
before?
yeah,
Yeah.
and people had to get flood insurance up there.
Crazy.
which is
Yeah, it was a
not
little
cheap.
ridiculous, we asked them to.
So they redid it.
Yeah.
We're in a good precipitation situation so far. It's been a little cold,
Yeah.
but moisture-wise, we're doing pretty good. We're pretty average.
I had 31 degrees this morning.
Yeah, it's been cold.
It's still a little brisk.
Pretty hard on alfalfa.
Yeah, yeah. And they talked about that some. We actually have a new extension entomologist.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting. I might have her come up and do a talk on alfalfa weevil.
Good deal.
Kind of interesting.
Tell them to bring some.
Yeah, yeah. She's right.
This is what they look like. Oh.
Tell her to leave them in Yellowstone County.
Yeah, yeah. And she's actually from Italy, I believe. She did some work at the at Conrad, that research station. But she's done a decent amount with the alfalfa weevil and stuff like that, so I might have her try to come up and do a talk. I don't know if it'll be. I can't get anybody to do the insurance talk. I'll probably have her do that talk because that's a good spring talk.
Yeah.
And then maybe just do insurance in the fall.
How many credits you offer?
None. Oh, I'm gonna offer 3 credits in the fall for private applicators. Yeah.
Just before mine runs out.
Yours is running out in the fall?
My commercial license is running out this December.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I can't offer you commercial credits.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
I'll just go take the test if I wanna keep it.
Yeah. No, we should have 3 credits in the fall and 3 credits in the spring from now on.
Yeah.
And then every 2.5 years, an initial applicator training.
I just want to have 12 credits, commercial credits.
Me too. Pretty much it. I'm going to
Soul feelings?
try not to die playing basketball this weekend. In Milestone.
What's that?
Soul feeling.
Oh, sure.
Well, that was quite a deal about poor old
My cat.
Justin Kinchlow.
Another one of your hands?
That was horrible.
What
I
happened?
couldn't believe it.
I think he had a seizure, I believe. while
He had a
was driving.
seizure and he swallowed his tongue.
Who's that?
Terrible.
Justin Kinchlow,
Yeah.
Lobo Garden. Justin Kinchlow?
He was a good, very good person.
Mm-hmm. I've been having them seizures for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Epileptic? Was he epileptic?
Yeah. Well, some burning so bad.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not a good deal at all.
No.
I just saw him a couple of weeks ago. Very friendly guy.
I'm sure Art's taking it bad, I'm sure.
I wouldn't blame him. Dang it.
Yeah.
Very community-minded person. Big-hearted.
How old was he then?
Very
I
old.
don't know, maybe 30.
A little older than that.
Is
I think he's older now.
He's coming on 40, I think.
Could have been.
That's probably pretty good, you know, if you got epilepsy, it's not it's a hard deal to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
2 little boys.
Yeah.
Awful.
We had a family in Casper that had a son with epilepsy. He was just this brilliant kid. But it was, he really suffered. He had these seizures and it was, I
We
think
had,
he died like at 38 or something.
we had a classmate in high school that had epilepsy. Reading was her name. When she'd have an episode in the lunchroom and everybody'd leave and I'd go over and put a pencil in her mouth and sit there and eat my lunch.
Cause that's just how you
Biting
are.
her tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, I had heard that swallowing the tongue was an old lifestyle, but apparently not.
No,
Yeah,
they
so
claim
they-
they, you gotta keep their mouth,
Keep your mouth open.
pry her mouth open, stick a pencil in it. Everybody else laughed. I couldn't believe it.
scared.
You exhibited what they call pro-social behavior, which is actually a sign of leadership. I learned that in Zulu.
Well,
You look tired.
I told you I got a basketball game tonight at 5.
You look tired,
Yeah,
he
you look
said.
tired.
Really?
Can't be tired.
Well, you look tired, right?
You're getting old.
Did you have a hard time at that conference?
They're just long. Like you get up at like 7:30, and then you get down at like 7:30, and it's just a lot. Yeah, and you're not home and stuff.
Well, go take a nap.
I gotta get ready for the game. I'm playing.
Take some opioids,
Yeah, that's what I need.
some sort of.
Keep my sunglasses on so nobody can see I'm tired.
Well, you look tired. You don't usually look tired.
No, I've also been sick for the last like week, so.
I know.
No, that's what I'm nervous about.
Yeah. I got a bunch of the whole team staying at my house and everything else, so. Yeah, play against old whackers and everybody. Well, actually, I haven't touched basketball in 2 years, so. There's nowhere to play around here, you know?
It's a basketball court.
Yeah, but there's no like gym. Pretty disappointing. I used to go all the time
There
in
seems to be a
college.
real need for something like that.
There is.
I don't know, all my friends, yeah.
Like a community center or something that have a gym and.
I go every day after class, play basketball, or go to, lift and play basketball.
Like a YMCA type thing, but,
Yeah, I mean, that was in college, so the college gym, but,
yeah. I used to play
similar here.
racquetball a lot. You ever play racquetball?
No.
Excellent. Yeah, I used to play that in college.
I always thought that was what you guys were gonna do with the old middle school. Or were thinking of.
Well, you're gonna make a part of this out.
There's
It's
a
just
gym
gonna
in
sit
there.
there. It's never gonna do anything with it.
It's something to think about, it really is, because I've heard that come up more than once. Actually, when we talked to the students at the high school, they were like, there isn't any place to.
They don't do an open gym there? They don't have a gym or?
You would think they would, but I don't think they do.
Well, you can do the community center, but you gotta jump through so many hoops to get in there, and
Yeah. Yeah, there's no like.
you gotta
just-
sign up at the high school, and you gotta do this and do that, and blah, 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 and have insurance, and yada, 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 blah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, I mean, I guess it's not gonna be like it was at college where there's always 12 people in there playing a pickup game, but
Yeah.
at least go shoot around or something. Or
Well,
go-
it's an opportunity to use your time positively for the youth.
Yeah. Well,
Or for everybody.
And I like what they're trying to do with the gym over there, but
I can't
there's
believe
not much there, and the ceilings are about 7 foot, so it's.
You can just put the whole pot in the ground.
Well, the basement of Muscle Shop School, that would.
I know. I have thought about that before, actually.
I think people drive out there for that.
I don't.
You know, we got a 24-hour gym here over on First or Second Street. I don't know if you knew about that.
One,
Yeah,
yeah, I've got to remember to go there.
Yeah,
but
I was going to.
There's not a ton of room in there.
No,
The
it's
ceilings
not.
are so short, you can't really do like free weights or military press or, and the squat machine, the Smith machine they have, I can't even do calf raises on it because it's not tall enough.
That's true.
But
I just put a QuickBooks on mine because that's ancient.
anyway, something like that would be pretty awesome, I think.
Thank you.
Well,
You just, how do you get one of the YMCA's built? Shoot, them are nice. Those YMCA's, how do you get them built?
Oh, do we need one of them here?
Yeah. Why
that'd be
not?
nice.
yeah.
Why not?
If they pay.
Is that private? Is the YMCA a private?
Yeah,
gym?
that's a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Well, hell.
Isn't that the Mormons?
No, it's not the Mormons.
The Mormons don't do everything.
That's not the LDS or?
No, not LDS.
Alright, well, yeah, I'll mention that stuff you told me to the fair board on the courses and whatnot. But it won't be till
27.
27th, so. Yep,
Well, don't break a leg or anything.
we'll take it easy, I'm getting old, I told them that. Go and play with all these young guys, they wanted me to be on the team so I could stay at my house.
Sure.